Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. What we are going to do today is that we are going to implement linear regression through code, okay? And the library which we are going to use is scikit-learn. So, as you can see in this, we'll be using linear regression, okay? And the data set which we will be using is this fetch California housing, okay? So as you can see, you can read the documentation, okay? And now if I go to my Google Colab, okay? So our very first step will be to import the model, okay? And we will be also importing different like functionalities, okay? So now we will so let's import some more functionalities that we are going to use, okay? So so first we'll be also using model selection, and then we will be importing our train test split, okay? So what it does is that I think we will be dividing our data, okay, into training and testing, okay? So by dividing our data, we will be like making sure that first we will train our that data set, okay? After training the data set, we will be testing, okay? So this is what we are going to do. And next thing what we will be importing is that uh, we will be importing our data set, okay? So from we will be importing this data set, okay? Fetch California housing, okay? So let me write. Okay, so now we have imported the data set, and next thing is we will be importing pandas, okay? So as it is given the suggestion. And one more thing we will be importing is the metrics, okay? First thing we will be using is mean squared error for now, okay? So these are the things that we will be using for now, okay? So let me run this. So now the second step, what we are going to do is we have to now load our data, okay? Second step will be loading our data, okay? Now let me now create a variable, okay? Variable by the name data. And what we will do is we will directly assign it, okay, to this data set, okay? Now if I print this data, let me see what is in this, okay? So this data is in the form of you can see it is a form of a key value pair, okay? So it is not understandable from here, okay? Now we have to convert this data into a data frame through pandas library, okay? So next step will be converting it into data frame. So we will be using pandas, and it has a method data frame. So we will be grabbing the data, okay? And then next thing is we will be grabbing the columns, okay? So what it does is that first we are grabbing the data, and then we are looking for the columns in that particular table. So columns so if I talk about columns, so we can think of that in terms of features, okay? So as you can see, these are the features. uh, you cannot see here, but if I talk about features, so features will be used to predict the prices, okay? Think of it like that. So next thing what we are going to do is we will be grabbing the price. Okay, we will be grabbing the price and data dot. So if I print this, let's print it. So these are the prices. Okay, so I've printed here. Okay, so now what we are going to do is that now we are going to first we have to drop the price, okay, from the data set. So now I will tell later why, but we have to drop for now. Okay, so our third step will be splitting it into x and y. Okay, x and y. So what x will be? So x is going to be features. Okay, and y will be the prices. Okay, so I have divided. I will be using two variables, x and y. Now if I take x, not this, wait. So I will be using okay, so first I have to drop. Okay, now why I will be dropping is that, so uh, if a machine if machine knows if machine already knows the prices, then it will not be able to learn the relationship between different features that will predict the prices. Okay, so that is why I will be dropping the prices from the x. Okay, and to do this we have to do x is equal to 1 to target the column. Okay, and now I will be assigning y to the price. Okay, so I have done this two things. Okay, and the next thing which I will do is that I have to now train and I have to perform train and splitting of train and testing data. Okay, splitting of training and testing data. Okay, so I will be using four variables. Okay, first will be our x train, which we will pass to the model. Okay, next is the x test, which we will do prediction on. Okay, and y train. Okay, we will also training according to this, and then we will use it for y test for finding out the mean squared error. Okay, and now I will be using train test split that we imported before. Okay, so I will be using now x. It will take two parameters for now, x and y. I will be adding a third parameter that will be test size. Okay, which will be equal to 0.2. Okay, I am keeping it test size 0.2. What it means is that, so our training data will be, I am writing above, our training data will be 80%. Okay, and our testing data will be 20%. Okay, what it means, so I'm just telling you. Okay, and now we have to do another thing. We have to add another variable, sorry, parameter. Random state is equal to, we are assigning is equal to 42. Okay, so this is the conventional method. And so if I print the training data. Okay, so okay, So you can see there are around 16,512 rows, okay, and we have 8 columns. So if I talk about features, these are the columns, okay. These are the features that you can see, like population, latitude, longitude, okay. So these are the features. And if I add another step, okay. Now our fourth step will be to initialize the model, okay. Initialize the model, and I'm going to create a variable model, and I'm going to equate it to linear regression, okay, like this. And what we are going to now do is, now we are going to actually train the data, okay. This step is for actually training the data, where model will learn, okay. So we train it by through model.fit, okay. So here we are passing the two values, that will be xtrain, and next variable is ytrain, okay. So okay, so if I go above, we were we divided the data into four, okay, into four variables. First one was xtrain, okay. So xtrain, what it does is that we are passing this data to the model, okay. And then after that, what we are doing is that we are then passing the ytrain, okay. So for training the model, we are passing xtrain and ytrain. In xtrain, we are using features, okay, and ytrain is just the prices, okay. So you can see, okay, ytrain is the prices. So we have to train, we are passing the two data, that is xtrain and ytrain. So it will so I think it has trained the data. And next step, now what I have to do is, I have to now do some predictions, okay. We have to do some predictions on the data, predictions on data, okay. So now if I create a variable name predictions, so to predict the data, will be using model.predict, and then we will predict the x test, okay. So if I print the predictions, so as you can see, these are the actual predictions of the prediction or the prices that has that the model has predicted, okay. So now what I will do is that now I will evaluate, okay. Next step is evaluation, or we can say we have to find the mean squared error, okay. So I will create a variable through error. Now we have to find the mean squared error, okay. And now we will be passing the y test, okay, the last variable, as you can remember, that we created, okay. And we will be passing predictions. So what we are going to do is, we are checking, okay, how much wrong we are, okay, how much the model is wrong, okay. So if I print it, so now I'm printing it. So this is our, okay, this is our mean squared error, okay. So if I recap again, so first we were doing is that we were importing the model. Next step, what we were doing is we were loading our data, okay. And if we look below the third step, we were splitting the data into x and y, okay. And we were again then splitting it into training and testing data. And you can remember the test size 0.2 means that 20% of our data will be used for testing purpose, okay. And then after that, in the fourth step, we were using using linear regression, and then we were training the model. Okay, and the next step what we were doing is that we were performing predictions on that data. Okay, and in this step what we were doing is we were evaluating. Okay, and then if I show you the plotting. Okay, so I have already written this because it would have taken a lot of time to write this. Okay, so I will be uncommenting this, and let's see our graph. Okay, so this is the graph you can see. Okay, so this is the graph you can see. That is see, this line, this red line means that it is the best fit line. Okay, and it will continue predicting in this fashion, in this straight line. Okay, this